Alright. Howdy, folks. I'm back. And welcome back. Alright. I'm Michelle. I've been waiting to come on too. I know you were waiting. I've been doing pre-show setup this whole time. Takes a little bit, especially when we got computers that are, how do we say, possessed, poltergeist, don't behave correctly. You know what I'm saying? A lot of EVP, electromagnetic interference around me everywhere I go. So, anyways, let's get on with our solar report, everybody. Happy Mayday. Mayday, Mayday. We have issues. Mayday, Mayday. We're going down. Mayday, Mayday. The ship is going down. Alright, let's start the loop. And just, you guys take a peek at what's going on here. Let me center it for you. Tint it out just right. Back it up. Get ready for your solar report. There you go. Take a peek at what's going on around our sun. Alright? Trained eye can see all kinds of stuff happening there, huh? I don't even need to point stuff out and freeze frame stuff. It's just nice and smooth and clear. You can see it. You can see what's happening. Boom. Multiple objects, multiple regions of the sun. Boom, boom, boom. Big objects, small objects. And we will still go through this frame by frame like we always do. But before we do, I just want you guys to take a look with your own eyes, okay? Before I say anything, any power of suggestion, no, leading the witness, any kind of thing like that, okay? There you go. Alright, now let's dive in. Here we are. This is May 1st, 2023. Mayday. Mayday. I knew this day was coming. And let's just proceed to pull this down a little bit and find the opening frame. Whoops, it was right back there. Back up a little bit. Put her in reverse like the core. Alright, there we go. So here we are starting off at 024. Hello, Jimmy. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Michelle. Alright, I was just responding to the chat. Back to our report, though. So, opening frame 024 of May 1st. And as we proceed to go forward through this, you can see this little splattering, whoops, over here that's already kind of underway, right? And a CME reacts to it, alright? Now, do you see our little ship right up here show up during this blast? Bing. Watch, it pops right out right at the time this blast is coming out, right? Then we have this little blast come out. It doesn't look like there's much in that until you look back behind. You can see there was the object back here, okay? It appears to be another one here. We got our thing streaking through here. There's another one right there. All kinds of UFO activity going on around these objects when they interact with the sun. You can see another one coming out right here. Okay. Let me tint this out. It doesn't look like it's showing up. There we go. A little bit better there. See, it's all about the tint, too, because when you're looking at this, obviously, you can see it better when I tint it properly, right? So you understand why the tint is so important. Okay, and we're just plowing through this frame by frame. You can see other objects coming out here. Here's like a three-way blast. One, boom, boom. You can see our object right here. You can tell there's going to be one in there. Now, as this event, right about here, I guess, right here. Yeah, that one's a little bit better. Now what I'm going to do is zoom in here. This one you can see clearly, right? It's spherical shape. You can see the shadowing and everything on it, right? This other one's a little harder to see, and I'm going to try to show you it because I want you to be able to see it and then understand why. This is a good example of why these ones are hard to see. Okay. Now, knowing what we already know, how they make a dent in the instrumentation, let's use that as a hint. Maybe you can see it. It's really faint, but it's right here. Okay, it's that circular object right there. And if we tint this out a little bit better, now you see it. Okay, see a little bit better now. That's why the tint is so important. Sometimes the plasma blinds the camera, and if we can dull the camera out a little bit to catch these dull shaded objects, that's how you see them better. So I just flex the screen back and forth like that to get the tint out of it, darken it, and you can even see the flow coming out around it when we go really dark like this, into the negative. And we come out of negative. Alright, now you can see our blast. Everybody's looking at the light, right? They're looking at all this, but what's going on are these dark objects, so you have to tint it out to see the darkness. We're looking for missing light or dark patches, right? So, ta-da, there's your dark patch. Okay. These things absorb light, right? They don't reflect it, absorb it. They're really almost virtually impossible to see. And that can only be seen when they interact with the sun. This plasma drapes over them. That's the only way you can see them. I don't think you could really see it with a telescope. Visually, they absorb light, so I don't know if in the infrared they could see it. Possibly ultraviolet. Maybe that's what they're using to track these, is ultraviolet or something. But for the common person, for the layman, the only way to really see these is right next to the sun. Okay. And there's a pretty good size one, don't you think? And we have, so while we're here, pulled in, zoomed in, you can clearly see this one. Let's just put this into motion and watch this upper one. Whoops, reverse. And watch that upper one just move, okay? Because it's the movement of these objects that gives them away too. The movement, the flow asymmetries going around them, all of those are little dead giveaways that there's a rock under the water in this river, and there's stuff flowing over it that kind of hiding the rock, but you can tell by the flow that there's some kind of object under there that's creating this bulge. So, and voila, and over there, so it's the sun's pretty active today, or let's just say the sun's being bombarded today. All right, and there's this one over here on this side as well, right at the end here, right there. So let me get that off of there. So let's just take a peek at it again while it's in the loop, and just watch the loop and wrap your mind around how hard the sun's bombarded right now. Okay? And it's not the sun that's acting up. The sun's getting weak. Remember I show you the heartbeat is below the seafloor? The only time it's active is when it's bombarded, you know? Kind of like me. It never gets a break. Anyway, so, while I'm thinking about this, I wonder if Stereo A captured this event even better. Let's go backwards to Stereo A, go forward in reverse, back up to Stereo A and report on it next. You can see a little bit in there. It really didn't capture it as well as the other one, but this object up here, the really clear one, you can see that one. Let's just kind of dissect the big event from this one. Now, stereo 8 usually gives us like a frame an hour, so it doesn't have all the little tidbits in between. It just jumps from one to the other. Now, you can see our circular formation here. You can see plasma built up on the back side of this object. Or wrapped around it or something, it looks like. And then here's our little other one coming out. It's clear as a bell. The instrument reacting to it. Here, we just got to do this for good old clarification. This is verification and for your eyes. I know this stuff exists. I just need you guys to understand what you're looking at. Do you see the instrument reacting to it? That's a dead giveaway that there's an right there. It's painting it. It's painting the target. The instrumentation itself is painting the target. It's saying, hello, there's an object right there. Okay? And that's not Mercury. It's not Venus. It's not one of our planets. This is a stellar core. It's an extraterrestrial body now. It's let's just say. All right? It's something more than what we were used to having in our solar system. Okay? We have extraplanetoid bodies, and they're stellar cores. They're burned out cores of stars and planets. This bigger stellar core, the one we call Nemesis, has probably stripped all of these smaller stars and smaller planets down to their cores, and that's what we're seeing, is this burned out solar system, Nemesis being the core star of it, burned out, and all of the stellar cores, all the cores left over from it just mauling all the planets to death in its own solar system. Now it has its own dead star with a bunch of dead cores rotating around it, and that system is interfering with our sun, and it's dragging shit, ripping the sun apart. Ta-da! Now, let's move on. Oh, no, we're going to zoom in. So let's just, boom, get it over with, pull the Band-Aid off, and pull it up. There we go. Now, this is actually kind of good. Even though these things are bombarding the sun, you can see each little event, bang, 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 just like these little spikes are this is the GOES X-ray flux, right? You guys all understand what it does. It gives us the heartbeat of the sun. This is the sun's core spinning in its shell, producing an electromagnetic field called the corona of the sun. That's where the power of the sun comes from, is from its corona. It's not really from the body of the sun itself. It's really warm and hot too, but a lot of the power comes from the corona. That corona is produced by its core spinning inside of its shell, producing an electromagnetic field, just like the Earth's core does. Just like an electric motor would if you didn't have it hooked up to a battery. If you take the electric motor and you take your fingers and spin the shaft with your fingers without any electrical input at all, if you can spin that shaft fast enough with your fingers, it will rotate the magnets that are inside the copper coils in there, and it will produce an electromagnetic field, just the core and the shell do for our planet and our sun. This is the heartbeat of the sun. The seafloor, I call it the seafloor because it is the floor of the sea range. Okay, we got B range, C range, M range, and X, right? By the way, these two gray boxes should be color coded yellow in accordance with B and red in accordance with A, because if the sun drops down into B range and starts, going along at a slower clip, we're in trouble. That's yellow. And if it goes below this half-alive state and drops into A class and our sun is barely beating, that should be coded red or fucking black or burgundy or something like this one over here, this R5 or whatever, this kind of color. It should be color coded, all right? And with that, let's move into the seafloor right here, this green line, and the sun actually being above the seafloor, having C class and little M class flares. That is healthy behavior for the sun right there. Even though it's being bombarded, that's what's causing these spikes and stuff. The moment it stops getting bombarded, it'll drop below the seafloor because the sun is weak from all this punishment. Okay? And what you're looking at, spikes are each blow that it takes, okay? Bam, 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 bam. This is blow after blow after blow after blow after blow. The sun is just being punished. Bang, bang. Some of these are big and intense ones, you know? This one went way up there for a minute. So we're plugging along. We're having these CMEs, solar flares, well, not solar flares, but CMEs, all induced by these objects just bombarding the sun. And you can see all the way across here that it's been like almost like fully automatic gunfire, bam, 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 just constantly pelting the sun. And this is not good because all these CMEs come our way and then they hit the core or they hit the atmosphere, transfers to the core, transfers to the pole, transfers to the core heats up, expands, shell grinds. And when the shell grinds, we get this effect on the Schumann resonance and we get these screeches and pops. Okay? And if you look, what do we have here? All right, you gotta look. Well, if I show you and zoom in a little bit better, Brian, you can see that our line here, 7.83 hertz, is pumping nice and strong right now. In fact, we had a little extra push on the core here that sped it up even faster than normal and gave us a super strong magnetic field for a second. And then after that event, it went a little weak, but it recovered with a screeching event, but came out of the screeching event and continues to plug along pretty healthily. You see how vibrant that green line is? So that's a good sign. It's almost as if something gave the core a little bump, a little spin, a little boost to keep it spinning. Okay, so the Schumann's looking good. We've got a pretty good strong line right now. That means our magnetic field is doing its job and protecting us from these CMEs. Now, back to here. We're going to back out of this, zoom out, and as we scroll down here, we'll see the auroras. Okay. Now, this is the solar wind hitting the planet. It gets diverted to the poles. Right here, gets diverted to the poles, and you see the aurora effect, okay? Once it absorbs, it goes down through the pole to the core. Same with the other side. Positive attracted to one side, negative attracted to the other. And then they go down into the core and charge up the core. The core is a metal core. What happens when you heat up metal, class? What happens? Metal expands when you heat it. So when the heated core expands, it also heats the shell. The shell wants to expand too, but can't expand outward, so it has to expand back down inward onto the core. And at that barrier line, the two grind on each other, okay? So the inbound energy is at medium strength right now. We got green glow, but nothing too bad, nothing too strong, okay? That's good. Now as we back out, let's come over here and see if the tracker's updated or if they even bother, they even care anymore. Come on, care, bother, do something. Load up, spin, do something. Spinny, spinny. It looks like it's trying to, but not gonna happen. That's probably not real. Oh, there. Oh, it. Come on, spit it out. There it goes. All right. Oh, so they got it tracking off to the side. That's good. That's good. I'll take that all day long. The object itself is still coming our direction, but the CME that popped off when it went by, that traveled this way as it crossed that zone, that's, the shot across the object, but the object's still direction is still coming our way. So the CME won't hit us, but we will still have energy and influence from the magnetic field of the object when it passes. And that magnetic field messes with the weather, okay? Where'd my weather thing go? I did not have it up. All right, class, you can scold the teacher. I did not have it ready to go. This was part of my lecture. Dang it. All right, let's pull it up. Come on, load it up. Come on, please. We experienced a little there. Yeah. All right, come on, there we go. Almost. How frustrating is it having to do the most important, shattering news and having the most broken down technology that barely works possible and being able to still pull it off. Now, back to the lecture. Where were we? I was talking about the human and the core, and now the passage of these objects. Now, when they interact with the water that's in the atmosphere, it causes a vortex. Okay, I showed you magnetic experiments before, and maybe we'll go back through that again and refresh that a little bit for some people if they didn't see that. If we have newcomers or whatever to the class, you can do that as well. But for the moment here, this big low pressure, okay, this thing is like an animal, right? We've been watching this thing for like a week now, right? And it's still going to produce. It's still there rotating around, all right? We back up a little bit. Nothing too much. Ow. Excuse me. Nothing too much more severe, it looks like, but it's still a grandiose, huge low. Now, this low, I feel, is being induced by the object passing. They're way, way, way out far from us, but they still have a magnetic connection with us. Same with us to them. There's our electromagnetic field is interacting with the electromagnetic field of the object. And where those two spots meet, they roil together and spin and twist together, and they'll share vortex with each other or produce a vortex on one of the other. Like our planet produce a vortex on it, and it could produce a vortex on us. I believe that that's what these monster storms are these results objects passing. Okay, and that's why we're seeing these slow-moving, lasting storms that happen to coincide with the passage of these objects. Have you noticed when I'm telling you the impact is coming on this day, and it happens to be the day where it's the storm's hitting, and then it intensifies the storm as the storm hits? So it's these objects interfering with our electromagnetic field, which affects our weather. Okay, it's not too tough to figure out. It's real basic stuff. Everybody else just tries to complicate it too much. So I'm going to go ahead and play this loop real quick, and we're just going to watch the weather right now out of sequence because that arrow effect kind of died. That's good. This next low, yeah, we're having a different pattern. Did you guys go over to Ryan Hall yet and watch him? if you haven't, he talks about the omega effect. Maybe I should just give you guys a glimpse at what Ryan is talking about here, because we're getting this new setup, and I can see it in that GFS model now. He's right. Um, oh, just type it in, I guess. There it is. This video right here, huge block, okay, and I'm just gonna click on this for a few seconds here. We're gonna show the omega effect and what it's about to do. Where's the little segment where he's talking about it? All right, whoops. Well, that was a little demonstration of it. I think he starts right about here. Okay, so just real quickly listen to this, and then come over here and subscribe to him, give him a like I'm going to do, boom, and then come watch the rest of this report. I'm going to put the audio back on the speaker system here for you guys with my ring-dink Tinker Toy setup. Yeah, give me my Tinker Toy setup and I will make it work. We need other audio off. What else is going? Oh. Okay. Think we're good.
Longer than that. Here's a view from a little higher in the atmosphere. Notice the big blob of colder air associated with the storm. You see how it's not really moving? Now, keep that in mind, and let's look over here at the west coast. There's another storm developing with another cold blob attached to it. This one is going to bring chilly temperatures and unsettled weather to California this week. And look at this thing, it's not really moving either. Now, what's really interesting is what's happening in these two blue blobs. An area of high pressure and warmer temperatures will start building between these two low pressure centers, increasing in intensity over time. So that brings us back to the omega block. The reason we call it this is because the pattern will take on a shape that looks like the Greek letter omega. And let me tell you, this omega block is going to be a mega block for storms. What's happening here is basically the opposite of what happens in a trough. We are getting warm, stable air traveling northward through the ridge. And if you were to take a three-dimensional look at this phenomenon, it would look like a giant wall in the middle of the U.S. And this wall in particular is going to be huge. Watch how it stays in this position for days upon days. It just doesn't want to budge.
A giant wall running down the middle of the U.S., the same spot where we're having the pressure blooms on this half of the country. Anyways, just kind of odd how this omega effect is happening in our same region. You can see if this is a good representation right here of our two objects, the bigger object passing with this one trailing behind it. It creates these huge, deep trough, low pressure systems. They're like bruises almost on the upper atmosphere from the passage of the two objects. The indentations that they put into, they almost puncture, not puncture, but they really press hard on our atmosphere, right? And these are like the two dents of these objects passing. And what does it do? It creates that barrier in between, that omega effect, and this wall of weather develops. All right, just a little bit more on this, and then you can come watch the rest of this later.
That big old nap here of the U.S., and there's nothing we can daggone do about it until it decides to skedaddle. And while these events aren't exactly rare, this specific instance of the omega block is more intense than usual, so it's probably going to hang around for a little while longer than usual. And since this thing acts like a giant wall, it's going to try its best to block any and all storms from penetrating the central U.S. But keep in mind, most of our weather here in the U.S. travels from west to east, so the wall will kind of absorb the impact of these storms on the west side and then shield the east from all the moisture. This is going to lead to a lot of the central and eastern U.S. seeing less storms than usual, but it may...
All right, now listen closely.
...actually amplify the storm activity along and south of the wall, where some of the residual moisture may try and sneak below or under the block.
Okay, south of the wall. So that means down here in Texas, see where this low is right here? He's seeing everything south of this. So watch out, Texas and everybody.
Moisture may try and sneak below or under the block. Ultimately, this thing is going to rock our weather patterns for the foreseeable future. And the three main things that this is going to impact are temperature, precipitation, and severe weather. So let's break each of those things down on a monthly outlook.
All right, so you can come over here and watch that. So it's going to affect the weather. You heard what he just said, okay? Now back to this weather map. Where do we go? Why is it out of sync? There we go. Okay, so we just watched on that weather map. Let me back this up a little bit. This big low that's still over here that we're still dealing with at the current moment, all right? This one right here. There's the very beginning of the thing. Now, you saw how he was talking about the Omega. I'm out here on the West Coast, and it's all snowing here in the desert. So we're due to have storms for a while here on the West Coast. That effect, and you'll see this storm build up on the West Coast. So this one's still going to hang out. It's still going to rotate and stuff, but it's not pumping the big old thunderstorms anymore. Some snow, definitely some snow. You guys are going to get a lot of snow. Probably already have gotten a lot of snow, I should say. And you're getting more. Until this period, May 2nd, well, no, it'll still be snowing until right, well, you all right, anyways, if you're on the East Coast, you can focus on this one. For right now, I'm watching this low on the West Coast. And it's just sitting there rotating, and I know it's snowing, and it's due to drop a bunch of snow in the Sierras. Now, we were having flooding issues because of the rapidly melting Sierra snow. I live in the lower lands, not too low, and we watch all the snow melt and run off, and this is going to slow that runoff a little bit just at the right time because our banks, the river is at the top of the riverbank. It is right about to flood. And a warm day would push it over. But it's cooling off and snowing. But that snow is added snow to an already deep snowpack. So that's just exacerbating the problem, kicking it down the road a little further, kicking the can down the road a little further. And which means it'll be even a worse flooding event when it does come. And we got Lake Tulare already forming, and it's unstoppable, so expect that sucker to grow. It's just, you can tell this out of character weather. I mean, we're in May now. Now see this big low? See how it finally moves and drives up here? It's getting caught in between. And now this low produces all these pop-up thunderstorms still. Let's start right. The low shifts into position over southern Colorado, and it starts to pick up moisture and take it and drive it up through Texas, Oklahoma, all the way up through Kansas, and it's just going to continue rotating. See all this spattering of thunderstorms? That's kind of dangerous right there. We'll look at the Cape later on for that day when we get closer to it. I'm not going to look that far out yet at the Cape. But producing and then splitting, actually traveling backward. So the GFS model is all over the place. It's hard to nail it down right now because they're not considering the passage of these objects and what they do and how they influence the weather. I think they'd be a little bit more accurate if they understood the process of how all this is being formed and how the passage of these objects creates these huge, deep, low pressure land type hurricane All right, so that was our weather. I didn't even get my smoke break, but it's okay. We're going to continue on. Please work now. Yeah, we're going to. Please. Thank you. Oh, that actually was painful. There we go. All right. Let's pull back and take a little peek at the. Can we? At our Pacific Rim here now. All right. First things first, we got to find out what deep quakes we had today. So there it is, right there. That's our deep quake. Can you guys see this little box in the corner? There we go. All right. So we got a 5.6 to the depth of 570. And just to make sure that's not a deep one, good. It's a 5.1. That's already probably energy being transferred to this zone. And let's see the times first. I need to know the base time to start with from the deep one is 3:55:55. Wow, 3:55:55, huh? Okay, for you numerology people. 55:55, and didn't we just see two 5.5s? uh, anyways, and then there's our 5.1 energy. You know, that's been a common theme too, is this 5.1 energy. So this is right after this quake. About an hour after it, we had the 5.1 scrub off energy. So you see how it works. Deep quake starts off 5.6. I don't think, I think the surface quake should be more like a 6.6 or maybe 6.5, right around there. This, well, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the energy being scrubbed off, I guess. I'll take that too. 5.1. I'd rather see a 5.1 right here than a 6 point or 6.5 or anything that could possibly cause a landslide and induce a tsunami. We don't want tsunami activity. Those are even worse than the earthquake. So we're trying to avoid tsunami activity by scrubbing off 5.1s or any kind of mid-range 5 at the most before we start doing damage around 6 and scrub off energy from these deep quakes. 4.5, wait, back up, Brian. I'm trying to go too fast. 4.5, 70. 4.9, 10. 4.7, 36. Up here at Japan, we got 4.6, 10. And come here. Get underneath your dress there. A 5.4 at 10. So we're having some energy scrubbing off here at Japan as well, which is beautiful because they got volcano activity going on. So much pressure is built up there, volcanoes are going off. So any kind of little mid-range 5 activity out here, anywhere along the system is good. It's always good to just scrub out the energy before it gets shoved across and just transfers straight across into a more devastating quake. Now back to where we were. So we basically already covered most of the chain. Just real quick up here, 4.2 off the peninsula there. That's at a depth of 169. That's a mid-deep quake, mid-range deep quake. That's more energy being scrubbed off. What's the time on that one? Nah, that's still like the 3-point energy. For some reason, we get the 5 energy creeping up here, and the moment it's supposed to transfer over, it gets pinched off down to 3 range, which is beautiful. I would take that any day of the week. It does transfer down here. You can see it making it to California, but it's in the 2.9 range right here by the our 3-way input right here. Then just below it is our 3.6. See, it's that mid-range 3 energy being scrubbed off. That's even better, 2.6. Okay, so that's good. Some of the energy is getting scrubbed off. What's this? 3.1 down at the valley here. Make sure there's nothing hiding under her dress there. And let's go down to our quake swarm where I know there's something hiding under her dress. Alright, here we go. It's just two quakes. A 2.5 and a 3.1. Both shallow quakes. Nothing too bad. And let's pull back because topographically, we do have a little transition piece right here from one fault kind of starting again here at the Salton Sea. Oh, it's really hard to see when you don't zoom in on it, Brian. So the fault kind of ends right here at the edge of the shore, but then it picks up a new fault right here. It's just kind of fused together right here, and this is where we're seeing, right next to this fusion right here, this energy is getting dumped off over here on this hillside, on this, you see this bluff right here? It would crack right on this bluff, but the weak spot is right just down here in the sand. So that's where we see our quake. Yeah, it wanted to strike right in this rock area, but this is denser material. So it looks for the weaker spot, which is just off of this dense material in the weaker zone here. Just like in the water, that would be a weaker zone. And dumped off a couple of little quakes, which is good. That's good. Because the potential for a big quake was there. And I still believe that there's a monster out there lurking as far as potential energy. That round of 6-point quakes and the 5s and all those deep 4s, that was a lot of energy that, when it comes to the surface, should have produced quite a quake. And we have not seen quite a quake. We have seen a lot of scrubbing off of energy, which is good, and I'm happy to see that. And let's just pray that that's enough, that these mid-range 5s and the volcanic activity going off is enough to release the pent-up pressure from these deep quakes. These deep quakes are happening every time the sun pulses at us and we absorb it, and then you see the screeching effect on the Schumann. Well, it's not the screeching effect that's causing the earthquakes, but every time we absorb a pulse of energy, it causes the core to swell, and when the core swells, well, that pushes up the magma in all the way around the sphere, right? Pushes the magma up to the surface, and that makes the eggshell at the crustal zone crack and fracture, and that's where we're seeing our earthquakes are all along these fracture zones now. Okay, it's really following the fracture zones a lot more defined than before because of this upwelling pressure from below. Okay, and that's why we're seeing it behave precisely the way it should be, because it's easier to predict a little bit now because we understand that the pressure's coming from below, pushing up and reacting in certain ways. Okay, now let's go here to South America. So they've seen some activity. This is a 5.2. This is a decent little quake for this area in a while. At a depth of 12. We have a 4.1 at a depth of 151. This is another place where we see some deep activity. So there's a 4.1 at 151. Give me this other one. 4.3 at 151. Sorry. Oh, they're both at 151. How about that? You guys drink Bacardi? You know what 151 is? Oh, yeah. I used to drink that stuff like it was water. Anyways, we have another quake that's even deeper at 204. So we have these three quakes of 4.1, 2, and 3. So we got 3 4s, a 1, 2, and a 3, 4. Get it? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right here, all deep quakes. Mid-range deep. So I would expect to see maybe something at the surface here, Or if not, this would be the energy scrubbing off at a deeper depth over here at our fulcrum point. And let's just take a look topographically at this, because you see, if we backed out here, I want you to see something here real quick with me. Let's highlight this blue one so it'll stand out more. Okay, the old water line. Can you see where the old water line used to be? You can see it running up here. It goes up into the shore a little bit right there, right? You can see where the old water line used to be. And it's like, you see the shelf right here. This whole thing is a shelf. And the water is creep halfway up this shelf. Can you see 3D kind of what I'm talking about now? How this blue water is kind of splashed up onto this whole shelf area, right? What's the weak zone if there was water there? It would be right here on the beach, right? And that's where our quake has landed. In this weak zone, where in the old days when there was water up to this, in this zone, that's where it would have dumped off in that beach, in that weak zone, right? And there's a quake there. It's a 4.3. It's at a depth of 151, which tells me that this is the old beach zone. And now we're having, see, this one's up here on that old beach zone too. And it's a 4.1. And look, see how the water came in here? Right here where my arrow is. Like, you see how the water used to go right here. Let's pull down. Okay, you see where the old beach was, right? And right on the beach, right on the beach, right on the beach. The old beach, the ancient beach. And they're all the same depth, basically. This one's a tad bit deeper. But that's funny how they're 4.123 and then they're all fours. That's God using his numbers. I see his numerology work all over the place, and this is another example of it right here. I guarantee it. Everything that you see happening is a sign. You are in God's movie. Every little thing that somebody says to you, every bird that flies by, everything, every thought you have, every single thing is a sign right now. And I'm just pointing them out. Okay? We see all this activity over here kind of calming down, actually. There was quite a little quake swarm going on here. What's this over here, though? This is a 4.4 at a depth of 123. See the 1, 2, 3, 4.4 again? 1, 2, 3, 4.4. There's 3.2. Puerto Rico, the rich port. Okay, those are all little mouse farts. Let's pull back, finish up our report. We have a, hello. Sorry, I gotta look at something different real quick before I start reporting on this. 2.8 at a depth of 6.2. Uh-oh. What is going... Oh. It's nothing too serious, you guys, but I see something else going on here. See, what you guys don't know... It's going to sound crazy, but here we go. I need you to tilt your head to the left about, well, all the way to your left shoulder, 90 degrees. And let me just zoom in so we can get it just right, because I don't want any questions or ifs, ands, or buts about this, okay? Now, if you turn your head, well, almost 50 degrees to the left, this is a dragon's head right here, okay? This is an old dead dragon that's laying here on the ground, okay? The mountain range is its spine and its back and everything. And when you find out that this is true, you're going to flip. But anyways, here's the dragon's nose right here, okay? Here's his nostrils, okay? This goes up his nose. Here's his head. His eyes right around here. The neck comes back, comes down right here, and here's the body with the spine and everything starting to go back this way. You can see his head right here comes down, this the snout and the nose, and when it died, a bunch of stuff spewed out of its mouth and spewed down in here into the Gulf, okay? Anyways, this position of this earthquake is back on the dragon's like ear, back where the ear port would be behind the eye. So it almost indicates it's not an earthquake to me. It indicates that the dragon's listening, because that just doesn't make sense in this area. I know we're around the what is it? This area. Oh my God, what's it called? The fault there. You have to forgive me. I think we're working on a 1,000-hour battle so far now. 1,000-hour streak. And I am parched. I haven't had a cigarette yet. We'll think of the name of the little earthquake swarm zone here that happened a long time ago. You guys will help me in the chat. You know what it's called. It's slipped my mind right now. The New Madrid. Thank you. Oh, my brain was seizing up. So it's near the New Madrid, but it's not the New Madrid. It's a feature on the dragon, and it indicates to me when I look at the position of it, it's actually like right around the ear port. If you've ever looked at a lizard and you've caught a lizard, there's a little hole way back here in their head, and that's where their eardrum is. Anyways, that's a indicator right there to me. I know what I'm seeing, but you guys can understand that it's just an earthquake, okay? And that was the 3.1 down in Sears Valley. No big deal. Okay, so we're done with the earthquake report. What do I have to play for you so I can have a cigarette? Oh, that's what I have to play for you. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to come back to the opening, to my opening, okay? And I'm going to play this with the sound now, not with the music, but with sound. Because you need to hear the sound of these storms when this wind is ripping by. You got to hear the reaction of the people that are filming it, okay? Because their words are classic. So what I'm going to do... Ow! Excuse me. What kind of shit? What kind of shit? I'll be right back.
Keep it quilted means you keep it the best. 3 layers of plush comfort you can see and feel.
You guys hanging in there? Alright, cool. Thank you. Yeah, just another minute here. Alright, take a couple of pain pills here. I can only stand so much. I like it, but after a while, it does become debilitating. Ow. Yeah, refreshments or go to the bathroom or something. I'll be right with you in about another minute or so here. Now, this is all in Virginia. Did you guys take note of that? You know what Virginia Beach, Virginia, the significance of Virginia Beach, Virginia is? Virgin Beach. It's no longer a virgin beach. Well, now it is a virgin beach. Any city named twice is like a target. Especially things like Virgin and Virginia. Talking about the Virgin. Total clues. Those are all God's clues right there. Hang in there. I'm almost done. Ow. No. I'm leaving the vest on. The vest stays on. People don't listen.
Christy, go downstairs.
Okay. Alright, you guys. So, we'll get to the gem here. I got a different kind of gem for you guys now. Alright. Oh, did you see this part right here? Wait. I want you to hear this. Alright. Listen here in a second. Yeah, where do all these people come from? Did you hear that guy say that? Okay, let me freeze frame right here. Okay, now we're going to address something here. These people in the black car, wherever the looky-loos, alright, you saw all these people driving by to see the devastation, right? Now I understand that you are all intrigued to see the devastation. But what you need to understand is these poor people here have no car now, no home now. The dude's pushing his bike. That's all he's got left. Okay? These people are in the middle of a traumatic event. They don't need you coming by taking pictures. If you're going to show up, it's your vehicle and you want to see the devastation, go ahead and show up. But bring a fucking chainsaw, bring some bottled water, and don't take, if you want to take pictures and then help clean up this guy's yard. Don't just drive your SUV down there. If you got a tractor, drive your tractor down there and help clean up this debris. Get your hands in there and start helping. Don't go there to take pictures and be a looky-loo, or else that damage is going to happen to your house. I guarantee you. What you absorb is what's going to happen to you. Okay, so be careful the way you watch this. This is not for entertainment. You got me? My channel is not here to entertain you. I am here to inform you. Okay, so a little lesson to be learned here. This poor guy now, he walked out of the devastation and he's looking at this crap in his yard and his poor neighbor who's pushing his bike, and these guys are going, oh, you know, swinging by a whole line of cars. Look, they blocked up traffic. Big old line of cars here. Well, in this parade here, all this traffic, and the guy says, where all these people come from? See? Oh, yeah, look at this big line of traffic. Look at all these cars down here. See all these people? Are they there to help? No, they're there to look at the damage of they're getting pleasure in other people's suffering. Do you understand what I'm talking about? They are getting pleasure in other people's suffering. You better get your ass out of the car and help this man or this man. You know what? These guys are in such shock and just devastated. They're devastated. Just the dude's catatonic. Go down there with a 12-pack of beer and some weed and give this dude a beer and smoke a bowl with him so he can unwind and come back to reality, absorb the reality, the shock that he's in. Do something to help these people. Don't you dare just go down there to take pictures. You may take pictures when you're down there, but you better start helping. Now, back to the rest of this report, because I have a gem for you guys. What happened here? Where'd it go? Alright. Enough lecturing. We're going to bring you some beautiful angels, okay? Now, when this stuff started happening to me, I started capturing angels on my security cameras, okay? I'm going to show you this quick little video, and hopefully you'll be able to see the angel in here, and we'll talk about the other realm, all right? So, just this quick video real quick, and let me get the tint and everything just right, and start it over.
Howdy folks, welcome back. So I'm real excited to show you this one. This is an angel that was captured on my security cameras, and now I've filtered here.
Betsy just came to life, you guys.
Your head to the right,
no shit.
About 45 degrees. You can make out the head, the hair, the breasts. It's a female. The torso, the waist, the legs coming down here, a wing coming off here, a wing coming off over here. And we'll zoom in on this real quick, because this one's nice and clear that you can. Okay, and this is an angel that was caught hovering in a shaft of light over this sleeping child down below here. So, zoom in on it again. Just excited that you can see it a lot clearer now, because before it was kind of faint, and now with these filters I'm able to make these images pop a little bit more for you guys so you can see them. I'm sorry about the way I have to do it with a camera and the computer, but I don't have any other option. So I just wanted to bring this angel to you for a moment so you guys can see that this is real. This is security camera footage that's admissible as evidence in a court of law.
All right. We got to pause. So the other computer, Betsy, just came to life. It had with something on it already. And, okay, I guess I know why that just came to life. So in this video, I showed you this. Where is it? I can't believe this is happening. Well, I can, but I know it's going to be awesome. All right, so let me back up to this. You saw in this video, hopefully you saw this angel. Let's get a good shot of it here where Alright, let's just run this real quick
The
again.
head, the hair, the breasts, it's a female, the torso, the waist, the legs coming down here, a wing coming off here, a wing coming off over here. And we'll zoom in on this real quick, because this one's nice and...
Okay, so we're just going to pause right there. So you can see this angel hovering over this sleeping child on the couch, right? This black couch, I positioned the camera by this couch after this event happened, because I wanted to catch another angel hovering over this couch. And Betsy just popped up a video that I've been waiting forever to show you guys here. So I know why this is happening. I totally know why this is happening. Okay, I gotta restage a camera on the other computer. So let's just get you guys over to Betsy here. And just turn you. Oh, wait. We got enough cord? A little more cord length. And there goes the can. Don't spill my drink. Oh boy. Alright, hang on. We're taking you over to the other computer here. Alright, I'm gonna have to set up a tripod right here and get you guys on this. Wow, I can't believe this came up right now. I was just about to show you something different, but in the meantime, we're just gonna stay right there for a second while I get set up here. You can see this couch in the background, right? Oh my God, please, just get in there. And then something to lift it up about that high. Alright. Oh, we're getting close, folks. We're getting really close. Alright, you can see the black couch there, and you can see these two kids sleeping on it, right? Now what I'd done is I positioned the camera on this couch because I was trying to catch more angel activity around this couch. And one night, my sons went down to go play in the lower garage in our man cave type area, playroom, and they had a new toy. And they were like, yeah, we're going to be up all night tonight, Dad. And I said, well, I figured you would be. You got a new toy. So about an hour goes by, and it gets really quiet down there, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, what's going on? You know, kids when it gets quiet, right? So I go down there to check on them, and they're passed out. And I'm like, what the heck are you guys sleeping for? It's not even 7:30. I thought you were going to stay up till midnight or whatever. And they woke up kind of out of it and groggy and went up to the house and went to bed. It's 7:30 at night, and I thought, how odd. Then it didn't occur to me until a couple of days later that, oh, I should check the camera. So I went back and checked the camera. I had positioned it here, and I thought, oh yeah, the kids were sleeping on the couch just like that other kid was. I wonder if we captured anything. So I went through and took probably 20 frames here, and you can see that this image is bowing and flexing. Can you see that? That is not from the camera moving. The camera is mounted in a solid place. That is happening because of the angel activity in the background, okay? Now, this one's a little hard to see, and just bear with me as we go through this. Thank you, Betsy, for bringing this. Thank you, Lord. I know what you're doing. I know why Betsy came to life with this on it. Hang on, I have to get another drink here. I spilled my other drink with my cane. It's like everything's a stumbling block. Every single thing I try to do. Okay, this is going to be a little hard to describe and a little hard to see at first. But you got to remember, we're looking at the spiritual realm now, okay? So it's in another dimension. It's in white, all right? And you see this streak up here? And wait. I gotta get my pointer right. Okay, this little streak right up here. You can see that white streak pop in there, all right? Now, we also have white streaks going in here and stuff, all right? What's going on in here is there's this dark patch right in here. You can see it comes up and goes down right in here, this dark patch. Let me get the tint just right, too. Oh, that's even better. Yeah. Yeah, I think that captures it just right. Okay, in this darkness right here is the inside of an angel's wing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this angel in. Oh, I need better lighting. Right there. Oh, we don't have the shadow effect. But you see this angel, you see the inside cup of her wing here? That's the shadow area in here. And what we have is two angels locked wing and wing, and they're bowing like this. Now, back in here is the other wing coming up and going down with the shadow in the pit right in there of the other wing of the other angel. His second wing is right here with the other second wing of the other angel. They're locked wing and wing right here. Here's the outside wing of the other angel bowing over here. And then here's the big wing right here. This white stripe is the leading edge of the wing. Now, I can't stop this. You can't see it unless it's moving, okay? But if you focus, don't focus right on the head here, but if you look like stare right here, you will see the head of this come up. There are two angels on their knees bowing. Okay? Now take a minute to look at that, and let me give you a reference again. It's like this. Their wings are cupped, and they're bowing, like at this angle. I wish I could get the lighting just right so I could get the shadow on the inside of the wing here. Where's a different light? Well, maybe I'll just leave it out of there, and you guys just stare at it for a minute, and let me focus more on getting tint and everything proper, because I didn't expect to have to set up tripod on Betsy here. And I don't want to have to move this computer because it is very, very temperamental. That's why I gave it a name. It actually has its own personality, if you can fathom that. Alright, so I'll let you guys just look at that for a minute there. Now hopefully you can see in the background the other angel and the cups in its wing. Maybe just a bit brighter. Oh, that's about as good as it gets. Is this light over here blinding it? There we go. And I got overhead lighting on I could shut off. Hang on for a second. Let me get the lighting a little bit better in here. Oh. Stand up, Brian. Crawl over there. Okay. There we go. Now it should be a little bit better. Oh, just working. Oh, good, Betsy. Thank you. Thank you, Lord, for having this. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's coming in pretty good. So, could you guys do me a favor in the chat? If there's anybody that's willing to answer or put something in the chat, can you see this? Just put a 1 for yes, or if you can see what I'm describing here. It is a hard one to see, but it's those angels bowing that is causing the picture to flex and warp and bend and twist like it is. This is a mounted camera. So when I put these together and I saw this bending and warping and flexing, I was like, what's going on here? But then as I looked closer into the spiritual realm, I could see that we have two angels on their knees bowing. Now, something about these angels that I've been showing you that you need to know. Something about these angels that I've been showing you that you need to know. Have you guys been seeing what I've been showing you? Angels, real angels, okay? This is not CGI or Photoshop. This is security camera footage. It's admissible as evidence in a court of law, okay? So that's how serious you need to take this video as legal, okay? This is legal angels, basically, is what you're looking at. The real deal. Now, does anybody even know or have even thought of the term angel and what it means? It means messenger. Did anybody stop to think that maybe these angels left me a message and told me something? Maybe I know something more than you guys do because I talk to angels. They talk to me. And as you can see, when I want their presence, I put the camera out and they show their presence by bowing in front of me. See, angels only bow before God. Now, wrap your mind around what you're seeing. You know what these angels tell me? They tell me Brian Knight is God and the devil all in one. And there goes Betsy. Wow. Did you guys just watch that? Come back to me, Betsy. Betsy, come back, come back. Why did you die? Oh, you came back. Okay, good. Whoa. All right. Shit is going on right now as you guys are watching the screen. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. It's a little blurry now. Did it refocus? All right, there it goes. Unfortunately, that's the only way we can see that. What are you doing? Don't you even do this right now. No, get out of there. It looks like we're about to lose it. Get out of there. Oh, thank you. Anyways, we'll just kind of leave that going until Betsy tells us to turn it off. I'm going to get something else set up on our main computer back over here. And we're going to close out with something with this isn't even the gem. I was going to show you something else besides that for the gem. And then now I got to divert. But that's okay. I like adversity and having to overcome new obstacles, and a planned route sometimes has to take a alternative. Oh, why is this still up there? Go away, go away. All right, well, just another sec here until I get the other computer set up here. Why are you messing up now? The other computer is now messing up. What are you doing? Hang on, we're almost there. We're almost there, I think. Please. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's get you back over to the other computer here. And
it wasn't until I took these images.
Come on now. Sorry, I gotta talk to my computer.
It happened early.
All right, so we're all set up over here. Let's get you back over to the other computer here, folks. And get to tonight's gem, as if that wasn't gem full enough, huh? Packed full of gems, aren't we? Yeah, the craziest stuff has been happening to me. Oh my God. Ever since September 10th of 2017, when Nibiru showed up on my screen, my life changed violently. And I wound up going through all kinds of wonderful jails, institutions, death, all that great stuff. Okay, we are almost getting you guys back to, you know where we're going, so just hold on as I transfer all this, all my rinky-dink tripod setup back together over here. Okay. There we go. Alright, I want that image in the background to sit there for a minute, okay? Because now we're going to a whole nother level. Alright, you guys? As if we didn't just go to a whole nother level a minute ago there. I gotta take you even further now, alright? And this is going to become part of the show now, towards the end. I just gotta get my audio and everything else set up for the gym here. Alright, so what we're gonna do, you guys can see this image, right? I'm gonna get to the, where it's a little bit bigger. Alright, you guys all see Jesus in the clouds there with the crown, right? And the reason why I keep showing this image is because this is a real event, this is a real image that took place on Easter. The gravity of that situation, you cannot wrap your mind around. Just me telling you that Jesus showed up in the clouds and turned into a lion on Easter, an hour-long event, and I captured it all on film, is not enough for you to grasp. With that in your mind, you still can't grasp the gravity of this situation. This is a real miracle. This is the Bible come true right here. This is Jesus in the clouds with power and great glory that it spoke of in the Bible, okay? That's it right there. That's the real fucking sign, okay? It happened on Easter. Now, the gem part about all of this is, while I was in these institutions and going through this process, ever since September 10th of 2017, I have been documenting all the stuff that's happening to me. See, I like to journal, okay? And I like to journal because later on, years later, I can go back into those journals and read and remember the stage of life that I was at that time. So it's a good way for a man to reflect back on his life, and it's a good reminder. Like right now I'm in a lot of pain and stuff and misery, but it's a good reminder of when times were good and I was vibrant and still alive and, you know, living a life prior to this affliction. And then the affliction itself is a new blessing and an entire new life afterwards, okay? So as I journaled through all of this stuff, okay, you see I'm a creator, okay? I'm a YouTube creator. Not only do I do videos, you know, I write music. I do a lot of things. I'm a snowboarder, I do mountain biking, I ride BMX. I'm a very multifaceted person, okay? I'm also a writer, okay? And since this started happening to me, I've been working on writing a book, right? Working on writing the book, right? Of all this shit that's happening to me, right? But as things have progressed now, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to write my book. So what I'm going to start doing is, you guys are getting the book for free. And I'm just going to start reading all my notes, okay? So basically I'm going into my journal and I am extrapolating every little thing that I have learned over the course of this affliction, we'll call it, okay? So, I hope I don't bore you with my writing and my writing style, but this is how we're going to start doing things, okay? At the end of the show, I'm just going to start reading you guys my my material, okay? Help me with this, Lord. This is not the easiest way to do this. You know I wanted to do it the right way. So please understand, I wanted to do it the right way, but it's just going to have to be done this way. So we're just going to start today, May 1st, as the first day of this process, we'll say, okay? So, the present moment is the point at which time intersects eternity. It is also the place where you can encounter me, your eternal Savior. So keep your thoughts focused on the present as much as you can, enjoying my presence here and now. Invite me into whatever you are engaged in. Ask me to help you do your work heartily. Working collaboratively with me lightens your load and enables you to be more effective. Share with me not only your work but also your leisure, thanking me for both. When some things upset you, don't let fearful or obsessive thoughts take over your mind. Instead, talk with me about whatever is troubling you. Then, cast all your anxiety on me, knowing that I care for you. If you ask, I will open your eyes and awaken your heart so you can see more fully all the present contains. I delight in meeting with you in your wide-awake heart. See, I came into the world so that you may have life in abundance till it overflows. Okay? With that, hopefully it gives you guys a little bit of hope there, some inspiration, okay? And tomorrow night we'll be closing out the same way. All right? So I think that's it for tonight. God bless you all. I miss you all. I really do. I miss you guys. So keep up the prayers. And, oh, by the way, there's a whole new crowd of prayers coming in now. So I've got to clarify with your prayers a little bit, okay? Don't pray to me. Don't pray my name. You can pray for endurance for me, for my name, but don't pray to my name. You pray to Jesus, okay? That's how your prayers work. Pray to Jesus, all right? Say, Jesus, help Brian, give him endurance, okay? Don't pray to my name, okay? I'm God telling you, don't pray to my name. You pray to my son, okay? That's how your prayers get answered. I can't answer your prayers when you're praying to Brian Knight, unless you want both halves of that prayer to come true. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why you pray to Jesus. So you pray to that side, okay? So I just wanted to clarify that for some of the prayer warriors out there, because it's okay. You fumble through stuff and we learn. So I'm just trying to clarify. I am who I say I am, but don't pray to my name. You pray to Jesus' name, okay? That's all I had to say on that, okay? I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You're doing miracles. You really are. You see your effects that you're having on the weather. These systems come in and they wreak havoc, and we're that wall. Remember that wall that stood up there and divided the weather? That's you and me, okay? That's you and me working together, changing the weather. Okay? And if you believe, you know what's happening. You know you're a part of it. When you believe, if you don't believe, well then I guess you're not a part of it. Then are you? So you have to believe to receive. That's how this works. And the moment you do believe, this magical thing happens. You're listening to your Father right now. How is that possible? That's a miracle, right? Yeah, it is. And you guys, as my audience, are truly, truly blessed. And I can't wait to see all of you here real soon. So I love you all. God bless you all. And I'll see you here soon. I'm back.